Welcome to Power Code Music. Today we're going to talk about the Ensoniq VFX Dynamic Component Synthesizer and why I use it. I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to talk about my all-time favorite synth and why that is. Quite simply, the Ensoniq VFX made it possible for me to share the exact music that I had composed and heard in my head with everyone else for the first time back then. I loved this machine because it was always easy to use, it was simple to program, and it had a unique sonic quality that I had never heard before. After its initial release back in 1989, it was no wonder why the VFX was a nominee at the NAMM 1990 Tech Awards in the Music Instrument Technology category. The unit's technology and sound was way ahead of its time. And today I use the VFX primarily as a vintage sound source, and then I control it using my Akai MPK88 MIDI keyboard controller. Many companies have released software plugins for popular DAWs, digital audio workstations, that try to capture the soul and essence of this legendary synth. Back in 1993, I purchased my first Ensoniq VFX brand new from a music store in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. At that time, I paid around $2,300 for the unit on credit, and it was worth every penny as far as I was concerned. I was so excited to get this synthesizer because I had played it at several different music stores around the Philadelphia area, and that fresh Transwave sound blew me away every single time. I knew that I have found my sound. And you always remember the first time you find your sound because it's magic. Now, before I continue, I need you to understand that I've done an extensive demo of the Ensoniq VFX. It was the only synth that I used on every song of my first album called Playing with a World on Fire. So before you complain about a missing sound demo in this video, please listen to the tracks on that record. It's a massive demo of the VFX. So if you want to see what the VFX can do and hear it on a broad scale, check that out. Now, even the bass tracks on that record, Playing with a World on Fire, is the VFX. Now, you can hear the full album on this channel, so check it out and let me know what you think. If you're not familiar with the Ensoniq VFX, you might ask yourself, what makes the synthesizer so special? The VFX used three types of synthesis, and this was back in the late 80s. The first was Ensoniq's proprietary Transwave wavetable synthesis. The second was sample playback, and the third was a subtractive synthesis. Even decades after its initial release, this synthesizer still sounds great, from its saxophones to the strings to its pure fat analog synth sounding patches. This unit's tones are still in demand by many today looking to capture those sweet vintage synth waves. The VFX has been used by such artists as Rick Wakeman, Nick Rhodes, Tony Banks from Genesis, Jonathan Cain from Bad English and Journey, Oscar Peterson, and new age artists such as Michael Allen Harrison. Let's take a look at some of the features of this classic vintage synthesizer. A single patch can contain up to 6 of 109 waves. In its read-only memory, that can be combined and layered. It has dual mode digital filters. It has a built-in 24-bit VLSI dual effects processor with reverb, chorus, flanging, and delay. VFX has a full MIDI implementation, left nothing out back then. And now I use the SysX to collect and alter information about the VFX, presets, programs, and its multiset. VFX has a cartridge port for storing sounds using Ensoniq's proprietary media format. Let's analyze the VFX technical specifications. The unit is 21 voice polyphony. For oscillators, it has 1 to 6 per voice. The wavetable has 109 waveforms, and the unit has 1 LFO. For filters, it has dual multimode digital filters, a high and low pass with 12 or 24 decibels, and a bandpass filter with 12 decibels. The unit has 3 11-stage envelopes, And the original VFX model did not have a sequencer, but the subsequent VFX SD models did have one. In regards to effects, it includes a 24-bit dual VLSI multi-effects processor that has reverb, chorus, flanging, and delay. The keyboard has 61 keys that include velocity and polyphonic aftertouch. VFX memory includes 126 patches and 12 performance areas. MIDI ports consist of in, out, and through, and the unit has full MIDI implementation that includes sysx, program change, multiset, and more. The unit is 12-channel multi-timbral. Let's talk about the Ensoniq Waves. On the VFX Wave page, each voice will play up to one of 109 waves in memory. Waves are the raw material that the VFX programs are made of. The wave page allows you to choose which wave the voice you selected will invoke. This section will also allow you to program various parameters of the wave. VFX waves are grouped into 10 different classes. The first 6 groups contain samples of acoustic and electronic sounds. Where needed, these waves have been multi-sampled to sound more realistic. The samples include strings, and these are samples of strings, pianos, guitars, and more. The second is brass. These are samples of horns, saxes, and other brass instruments. The third is bass. These are electric, acoustic, and synthesized basses. The fourth is breath. These include flute, vocal, and breathy sustained sounds. The fifth is tuned percussion. These include a variety of looped percussive sounds. The next set of sounds includes many different sample sounds along with waves that are generated by algorithms. These are the more synth-based sounds naturally. The first is the Transwave. This is a specialized class of waves created by and are proprietary to Ensoniq. Each Transwave is made up of many single-cycle waveforms that have different harmonic spectrums. The playback parameters allow you to start the wave playing at any one of those waveforms and move through those wavetables, changing the timbre of the sound using any one of 15 different modulators. The second is quite simply the waveform. Now, this is a single cycle of sound that repeats itself continuously. VFX contains both sampled and synthetic waveforms. Next is the inharmonic. These loops are much like the waveforms except that for the fact that they contain many cycles of sound. This basically means that they can contain inharmonics. So inharmonics are frequencies which are not exact multiples of the basic frequency. The last wave class is the multi-wave class. It includes only one wave. However, that wave contains all waves in the VFX memory. Beginning with any wave in memory, any number of waves can be played in succession. They can be played forwards or backwards to create special effects or user-defined jam loops. Let's move on and take a look at the VFX Wave List. I'll put that on your screen right now. The wave classes are shown in bold at the top of each group. The VAR suffix after a wave name indicates a timbre-shifted version of other waves. This means it has a different split point between the multi-samples in order to create a different frequency spectrum. Let's move on and talk about VFX dependability issues. Early VFX models suffered from reliability issues, and that fact was well known. The polykey pressure and keyboard design, which was in 3 pieces, was prone to bending and breaking at the solder points. Now, this caused the keyboard not to calibrate when it was turned on. Also, the unit had the ability to get very warm and cause heat-related issues. The heatsink would get hot to the touch and cause other problems with heating up the internals of the board, causing meltdown issues. This mostly happened on the USA models. But naturally, Ensoniq would correct these issues on later versions, but these problems did hurt the unit's reputation. I have to say that I've had a VFX since the early 90s, and I've never had any of these problems. But in summary, the VFX is a legend because it was a milestone for synthesis when it was released back in 1989. Putting the awesome and unique sound of the VFX into words is hard. The unit is fresh, clean, expressive, exciting, and warm, and that still doesn't say it all. I will own a VFX for as long as I possibly can. Well, that is a wrap. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up and click the subscribe button on your screen now and join our group. We have new videos coming out every 7 to 10 days, and we would love to have you be a part of our team. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about this video, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. While you're here, listen to some of the music. Check out some of the other videos. Let us know what you think about that too. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.